Hello students, welcome to today's episode on the endocrine system. Today we will discuss the endocrine system of our body. We know that to achieve coordination and integration of various parts of our body, the nervous system plays an important role. The nerve impulses transmit information at a very high speed without any delay. Contrary to this, the endocrine system achieves coordination and integration for slow and continuous responses of body by transmitting information through chemical messengers, hormones. The sharp difference between the nervous regulation and hormonal coordination can be clearly understood by some examples. ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਲ ਰਹੀ ਲੱਕੜ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਲੇ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਾਈਏ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਝਟਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਅੰਗ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗ ਤੋਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਖਿੱਚ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਥਿਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਪ੍ਰਤੀਕਿਰਿਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਤੇਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਤੀਕਿਰਿਆ ਨਰਵਸ ਰੈਗੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਤਹਿਤ ਵਾਪਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਜ਼ਰਾ ਸੋਚੋ, ਜੇਕਰ ਇਹ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਲ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤਮੰਦ ਹਾਰਮੋਨ ਦੇ ਰਿਸਾਵ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਅੰਗ ਹੀ ਸੜ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਲੈਟਸ ਟੇਕ ਅਨਦਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ। ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਬੋਡੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਇੰਟਰਨਲ ਅਤੇ ਐਕਸਟਰਨਲ ਐਨਵਾਇਰਨਮੈਂਟਲ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਹਤਮੰਦ ਜਾਂ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, ਬਲਕਿ ਇਹ ਬਦਲਾਵ ਹੌਲੀ-ਹੌਲੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਲ ਰੈਗੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਨਰਵਸ ਸਟਿਮੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਹਤਮੰਦ ਜਾਂ ਸਿਹਤਮੰਦ ਨੂੰ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ नहीं कर सकते। Thus are such common statements such as such and such person is healthy or weak or strong or frail, or such and such girl has beard and mustache but not breasts, or such and such person is taking hormones these days, belong to the language of endocrine regulation. Adolescence ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਹਾਈਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਧਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਇਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਸਲੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਟਿਊਟਰੀ ਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਗਰੋਥ ਹਾਰਮੋਨ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। However, the endocrine system is closely associated with the nervous system in most organisms, and hormones may originate from either the endocrine or the neural tissue. With the extensive study in this field, a new field, neuroendocrinology, has emerged. Neuroendocrinology is the study of the extensive interactions between nervous system and the endocrine system. Neuroendocrinology has subsequently expanded to investigate numerous interconnections of the endocrine and nervous systems. But first of all, let us try to understand the endocrine system. Endocrine system. The endocrine system is composed of the endocrine glands, which produce hormones. Hormones are called chemical messengers. They are secreted by endocrine glands into the blood and then move to their target organs. After reaching the target organs, these hormones stimulate them to perform their functions. The mechanism of endocrine regulation involves three key processes: secretion of the hormones into bloodstream by endocrine glands, circulation of hormones throughout the body along with blood, action of hormones upon the metabolism of all or specific cells of body. विद्यार्थियों, various endocrine glands ਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਓ hormones ਦੇ characteristic features ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੀਏ. Some of the characteristic features of these hormones are like this. They may be proteinaceous or non-proteinaceous. Chemically, hormones fall into two categories. Proteinoids, which are made up of amino acid, polypeptides, and proteins, and steroids, where cholesterol is the base substance. They are secreted as per need of the body and are not stored in the body. Their secretion may be regulated by nerves or by a feedback mechanism. They are transported by the blood. They mostly cause long-term effects like growth, change in behavior, etc. They do not catalyze any reactions. Their function is to stimulate or inhibit the working of target organs. आओ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਗਲੈਂਡਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੀਏ ਜੋ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਸ ਸਿਕਰੀਟ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ, ਪਰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਵੇਖੀਏ ਕਿ ਗਲੈਂਡ ਕੀ ਹੈ. Gland is a cell or tissue or an organ which secretes certain useful chemical compounds required for particular functions. Animals ਵਿੱਚ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ 3 ਟਾਈਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਗਲੈਂਡਸ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ. ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਜ਼ੂਅਲ ਦੀ ਸਹਾਇਤਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਮਝੀਏ.
Types of glands: exocrine glands, endocrine glands, heterocrine glands. Exocrine glands. These glands have ducts for channelizing their secretions into the body. Sebaceous glands in the skin, salivary glands around the buccal cavity, gastric glands in the stomach wall, and liver are some common exocrine glands found in the human body. Endocrine glands. These glands lack ducts and are also known as ductless glands. They pass their secretions into the surrounding blood. This secretion is transported to the site of action along with the blood. Their secretions are known as hormones. Common examples of endocrine glands in human body are pituitary gland and thyroid gland. Heterocrine glands consist of both exocrine and endocrine tissues. For example, pancreas and gonads. Pancreas is a heterocrine gland as it secretes the hormone insulin into the bloodstream, whereas as an exocrine gland, it secretes enzymes into digestive tract. Apart from these 3 types of glands, there are some holocrine glands. They are the types of secretory glands, where the secretory products are formed inside the cytoplasm, and the secretion is released by the disruption of plasma membrane and destruction of the cell. An example is the sebaceous glands of the skin. You know how important these glands are in our body. In fact, there is separate stream. Under that, these endocrine glands are studied. Endocrinology. The study of endocrine glands and role of their secretions is called endocrinology. Endocrinology is concerned with the cells of the endocrine glands and tissues that secrete them. Have you ever heard about Thomas Edison? He is known as father of endocrinology.
आओ ਹੁਣ एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੀਏ। ਹਿਊਮਨ ਬੋਡੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੌਜੂਦ एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਹਨ: पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड, पिनियल ग्लैंड, थायराइड ग्लैंड, पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड, एड्रिनल ग्लैंड, पैनक्रियास, thymus gland, and gonads, testes in males and ovaries in females. The hypothalamus is a neuroendocrine organ. Let us start with hypothalamus, which is actually a part of the brain which controls secretion of endocrine glands.
The hypothalamus is a region of the brain. It contains several types of neurons responsible for secreting different hormones. The hypothalamus is responsible for certain metabolic processes and other activities of the autonomic nervous system. It synthesizes and secretes certain neurohormones, often called releasing hormones. And these in turn stimulate or inhibit the secretion of pituitary hormones. Hypothalamic hormones are of two types. Some hormones released by the hypothalamus stimulate the secretion of pituitary hormones, while others inhibit the release of hormones by the pituitary gland. Thyrotropin releasing hormone, that is TRH. Gonadotropin releasing hormone, that is GnRH. Growth hormone releasing hormone, that is GHRH. Corticotropin releasing hormone, that is CRH. Somatostatin, dopamine. All of these are released into the blood in the capillaries and travel immediately in portal veins to a second capillary bed in the anterior lobe of the pituitary, where they exert their effects. All of them are released in periodic spurts. In fact, replacement hormone therapy with these hormones does not work unless the replacements are also given in spurts. Two other hypothalamic hormones, vasopressin and oxytocin, travel in the neurons themselves to the posterior lobe of the pituitary, where they are released into the circulation.
आओ ਹੁਣ ਪਿट्यूटरी ਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਿਕਰੀਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੀਏ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਵੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ how the hypothalamus influences the secretions from the pituitary. ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ endocrine glands ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਦਦ ਕਰੇਗਾ। For example, a hypothalamic hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone, stimulates pituitary to synthesize and release gonadotropins. On the other hand, somatostatin inhibits the release of growth hormone from the pituitary. thyrotropin releasing hormone. Thyrotropin releasing hormone secreted from hypothalamus reaches the anterior lobe of the pituitary and stimulates anterior pituitary to secrete thyroid stimulating hormone and prolactin gonadotropin releasing hormone. Secretion of gonadotropin releasing hormone from hypothalamus at the onset of puberty triggers sexual development, and from then on it is essential for normal sexual physiology of both males and females. Growth hormone releasing hormone. Growth hormone releasing hormone stimulates cells in the anterior lobe of the pituitary to secrete growth hormone. Corticotropin releasing hormone. Corticotropin releasing hormone acts on cells in the anterior lobe of the pituitary to release adrenocorticotropic hormone. Somatostatin. Somatostatin acts on the anterior lobe of the pituitary to inhibit the release of growth hormone, inhibit the release of thyroid stimulating hormone. Do you know somatostatin is also secreted by cells in the pancreas and in the intestine, where it inhibits the secretion of a variety of other hormones. Dopamine. Dopamine's principal function in the hypothalamus is to inhibit the release of prolactin from the anterior lobe of the pituitary. Before moving further, I would like to check your understanding of the topic. My first question is, which secretion of hypothalamus controls the general growth of human body? And the options are adrenocorticotropic hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone, thyrotropin releasing hormone, growth hormone releasing hormone. And the answer is, you are absolutely right. The correct option is GHRH, that is growth hormone releasing hormone. My next question is, which secretion controls the sexual physiology of both males and females? And the options are follicle stimulating hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone, luteinizing hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone. And the answer is, students, second option, gonadotropin releasing hormone is the correct answer of this question, as gonadotropin releasing hormone controls the sexual physiology of both males and females. बच्चों, आओ हुण अगले gland ते चलिए. Now, we are going to discuss the other endocrine glands present in human body. सब तो पहला मैं तुहानू साडी बॉडी विच मास्टर ग्लैंड बारे दसदी हां, जो कि होर बहुत सारियां ग्लैंड्स ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ secretions ਨੂੰ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ.
Pituitary gland. The pituitary is a small P-shaped gland located in a bony cavity called Sella Turcica and is attached to the hypothalamus by a stalk or infundibulum. It is called the master gland of the body. The pituitary gland consists of 3 lobes: anterior lobe or pars distalis, intermediate lobe or pars intermedia. Posterior lobe or pars nervosa. Pars distalis and pars intermedia are collectively called adenohypophysis, and pars nervosa is also known as neurohypophysis.
Hormones of pituitary. Anterior lobe of pituitary. It produces 6 hormones. First, somatotropins or growth hormone. It stimulates growth and development of all tissues. Irregular secretion of this hormone causes different disorders. Dwarfism is caused by deficiency of growth hormone. Gigantism is caused by excess of hormone during childhood. Acromegaly, it is caused by excess of growth hormone after adolescence. Second, follicle stimulating hormone. It stimulates sperm formation in the male and growth of ovarian follicles in females. Third, luteinizing hormone. In males, it stimulates testes to produce male sex hormones, androgens, and in females, it causes ovulation and secretion of female sex hormone, estrogen, and progesterone. Follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone are together referred to as gonadotropins. Fourth, thyroid stimulating hormone stimulates growth of thyroid and production of thyroid hormone. Fifth, adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulates the adrenal cortex to grow and secrete steroid hormones, glucocorticoids, and mineralocorticoids. Sixth, prolactin stimulates the growth of milk glands during pregnancy and secretion of milk after delivery. Intermediate lobe of pituitary secretes a hormone named melanocyte stimulating hormone. It stimulates the synthesis of a black pigment, melanin, in the skin, which is responsible for darkening of skin. Posterior lobe of pituitary. It releases 2 hormones. Oxytocin, which induces the contraction of smooth muscles and causes the widening of cervix and uterus at the time of delivery. It is also called the birth hormone. Vasopressin decreases the loss of water in urine by increasing the reabsorption of water by the distal convoluted tubules and ducts of the kidney. It is also known as antidiuretic hormone. Deficiency of antidiuretic hormone reduces reabsorption of water and increases urine output. This condition is known as diabetes insipidus. ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਓ, ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਓ ਇਹ ਵੇਖ ਲਈਏ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਮਝ ਆਇਆ ਹੈ। My first question is, which hormone controls the sperm formation in human males? And the options are thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, thyrotropin releasing hormone, or follicle stimulating hormone. You are absolutely right. The correct option is fourth, that is follicle stimulating hormone. My next question is, darkening of color of skin is due to follicle stimulating hormone, melanocyte stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, or adrenocorticotropic hormone, and the answer is darkening of color of skin is due to melanocyte stimulating hormone. This hormone is responsible in the secretion of a pigment known as melanin, which provides color to skin. ਬੱਚਿਓ, ਇਸ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰ ਦੇ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਓ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਗਲੈਂਡ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੀਏ.
Pineal gland. The pineal body is a small gland that lies under the corpus callosum between the two cerebral hemispheres of the brain. The pineal body or the pineal gland secretes a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin has the ability to regulate biological rhythms of our body and has important effects on reproductive functions. The light transducing ability of the pineal gland has led some scientists to call the pineal the third eye.
Let us now talk about the largest endocrine gland of our body, the thyroid gland.
The thyroid gland surrounds the front of the larynx and upper part of the trachea in the neck. The thyroid is the largest endocrine gland, which is bilobed. The two lobes are connected by a narrow band, the isthmus. It is composed of rounded follicles held together by loose connective tissue, the stroma, and enclosed by a thin fibroelastic capsule.
ਚਲੋ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਥਾਇਰੋਇਡ ਤੋਂ ਸਿਕਰੀਟ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਥਾਇਰੋਇਡ ਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਫੋਲੀਕੂਲਰ ਸੈਲਸ ਦੋ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਸ ਸਿੰਥੇਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ, tetraiodothyronine or thyroxine and triiodothyronine. Iodine is essential for the normal rate of hormone synthesis in the thyroid. Thyroid gland also secretes a proteinaceous hormone, thyrocalcitonin, which regulates blood calcium levels. Let's discuss some diseases related to thyroid gland.
Some diseases related to thyroid gland. First, cretinism is caused due to hyposecretion of thyroid hormones in infants. The metabolic rate is reduced, so there is stunted growth. Second, myxoedema is caused by deficiency of thyroid hormones in adults. It is more common in women than in men. The patient lacks alertness, intelligence, and initiative. Slow heartbeat, lower blood pressure, decreased body temperature, and retarded sexual development are other symptoms of myxoedema. Third, goiter is caused by deficiency of iodine in our diet. Iodine is needed for synthesis of thyroid hormones. It may lead to cretinism or myxoedema.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਈਪੋਥੈਲੇਮਸ, ਪਿਟਿਊਟਰੀ ਗਲੈਂਡ, ਪੀਨੀਅਲ ਗਲੈਂਡ ਅਤੇ ਥਾਇਰੋਇਡ ਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣ ਗਏ ਹੋ. ਚਲੋ ਹੁਣ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰਸ ਵੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ. My first question is, somatostatin is secreted by which gland? And the options are pituitary, thyroid, pineal, hypothalamus. And the answer is somatostatin is secreted by hypothalamus. My next question is, the disease caused by hyposecretion of thyroid is goiter, cretinism, acromegaly, Addison's disease. And the answer is the disease caused by hyposecretion of thyroid is cretinism. My next question is, gigantism and acromegaly result from hyposecretion of which hormone? And the options are antidiuretic hormone, growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, or none of these. And the answer is gigantism and acromegaly result from hypersecretion of growth hormone. Next question is, which of the following is the largest endocrine gland in an adult man? And the options are thymus, liver, thyroid, or pancreas. And the answer is thyroid is the largest endocrine gland in an adult man. I hope you enjoyed the class today. अगली क्लास विच इस सिस्टम दे किसी होर इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट बारे जानांगे. Till then, goodbye.